I'm your huckleberry.
What's up, fishy friends? Welcome Tim's School of Fish, and class is in session. I am super excited because today we are going to take a look at the brand new Civivi Elementum slip joint. I know that some people are poo-pooing on this knife already, and I am going to make a case for the Civivi Elementum slip joint and why we needed it. We needed a Civivi Elementum slip joint, and we finally have one, and we're going to take a look at it today. But before we take a look at this knife today, I want to run something by you guys. So I just did the ROSECRAFT Blades Ocoee River Kayak giveaway, but I've got a pile of stuff to give away this year. So I was thinking for the next giveaway, we would just make it winner's choice. I would just show you all the things that I have, and whoever wins can just pick whichever one they want. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comments if my next giveaway should be winner's choice giveaway. Let me know what you think. But today, the Civivi Elementum slip joint. So, without further ado, let's get this camera turned around and take a closer look.
Hi, man. Do me a favor and go ahead and hit that like button. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you very much, man.
All right, so I used to believe that Civivi was hands down the number one budget production knife maker in the game. And I believed that for a long time. Since then, I have kind of changed my mind a little bit. I lean more towards Kaiser and maybe CJRB and then Civivi. And that's only because Civivi has put out a bunch of models that to me are kind of spacey, futuristic, just some unusual designs that I don't really care for so much. I still like Civivi's more plain offerings, if you will. I like them to be unique in their own way, but I don't like them to be too over the top, if that makes sense. So Civivi launched in 2018 and they dropped three knives. They dropped the Backlash, which is a freaking killer knife in its own right. I still have mine. I absolutely love it. They also released the Praxis, which, in my opinion, is still the best budget knife of all time. Without question, it is the perfect size. It's got that nice freaking big belly on it. Now, this is one of the first iterations, and people poo-poo on it because it's 9CR, which I find quite amusing because those same people love their RPM 9 blade steel. It's the same thing, people. It's the same thing. There is absolutely nothing wrong with 9CR on an EDC knife. We're not talking about hard use knives here. We're not talking about bushcraft knives here. We're talking about everyday carry, which are light duty knives that perform everyday tasks, such as opening a box, cutting a zip tie, cutting a clam pack, cutting some food, maybe some food prep, some light wood prep, cutting some rope, cutting some paracord, cutting a thread, cleaning your fingernails. Everyday use. For that matter, 440A will work for everyday use. So when people are like,
I want my 9CR.
yeah, okay, but you love your RPM 9, you freaking dork. All these YouTube bro science freaking metallurgist, it just drives me up a damn wall. None of you are freaking metallurgists, okay? So just stop. Almost every knife is going to perform. It's just a matter of do you want to sharpen it or not. Anyway, I digress. So they released the Backlash, they released the Praxis, and they released one called the Naja or the Naha or something, which I don't have. Civivi literally built an empire on the back of the Praxis, in my opinion. Their success was built on this knife right here. And if you don't think that Civivi has built an empire, they are in Walmart now. Regardless of what you think of Walmart, Walmart is the largest retailer in the world. Walmart is bigger than Amazon, bigger than Costco. Walmart is the largest retailer in the world. And there are Civivi knives in Walmart right next to Buck and Victorinox and Leatherman. Regardless of what you think of those brands either, that is huge for Civivi. They have built an empire on the back of this knife. And then, of course, they followed it up with the Mini Praxis later, which, in my opinion, is the best knife that you can get for around $30. So, 2018, the Praxis came out. Then in 2019, they released the Elementum, which, in my opinion, is one of the best budget knives of all time, along with the Praxis, along with the Sencut Serene, which is also basically from Civivi. Those are in my top 5 budget knives of all time. Then, of course, later they followed this up. They released a Tonto version of the Elementum, which I don't have. They released the button lock version of the Elementum, the Warncliffe or Sheep's Foot version of the Elementum. Then they released the Mini and the Fixed Blade, which I don't really consider an Elementum at all, but again, I digress. Why is the Elementum one of the most recommendable EDC knives of all time? For a couple reasons. It's a hollow grind, it is a perfect size. You've got a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle, and it's just a damn good knife. So, not only on the back of the Praxis, but also on the back of the Elementum, was Civivi able to achieve the success that they have achieved. It's because of these two knives, the Praxis and the Elementum. Hands down, without question, I guarantee you that those two knives are their top selling knives of all time. Why does that matter? Why does that make it important? Because the average person who is buying a knife is not like us in the knife community. They don't shop at Knife Center, Blade HQ, White Mountain Knives, DLT Trading. They don't have hundreds of knives. They probably don't even have 10 knives. They might have a couple. The average guy is going to walk in Walmart or Academy Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shops, or Cabela, and they're going to buy something out of the case or off the rack. And Civivi's right there. And for just the average person looking for an affordable quality EDC knife, the Elementum might be the most recommendable knife out there. Why not the Praxis? It's probably a little too big for some guys. This, however, 7 inches, 3-inch blade, 4-inch handle is absolutely perfect. So, I say all that to say I made a short of the Civivi Elementum slip joint. And one of the first comments that I got on that short was, the knife that nobody asked for. Well, that's a little ridiculous. That's a little myopic, a little nearsighted, a little short sighted, in my opinion, because I think that this is one of the most recommendable knives of all time. The Civivi Elementum. Most of you guys have at least one Elementum. Almost everybody does. And so I think that we did need this knife. Slip joints are growing in popularity, just like fixed blades are gaining in popularity. So I believe that this knife was very much needed. So, with all that said, I absolutely love this one. It's got that 3-inch hollow ground blade, single nail nick pull. We've got kind of an enlarged sharpening choil that is big enough to be a finger choil. This one is 14C 28N blade steel. We've got those gorgeous blue swirl resin scales. We've got T8 hardware all the way around. We've got a lanyard hole, stainless steel liners that are milled out for some weight reduction, deep carry pocket clip that is reversible. It's got everything that you need in an EDC knife. And a lot of guys prefer slip joints. And for me, I'm one of those guys that kind of has 1 foot in the traditional world, 1 foot in the modern world, and 1 foot in the fixed blade world. Now, I know we don't have 3 feet, but you know what I'm talking about. I like traditional slip joints. I like modern slip joints. I like modern folders. I like fixed blades. I like them all, right? There's a few guys out there like me that like them all and can appreciate them all. I also know there's a lot of guys that only fall into one category and they're only interested in modern folders and that's it. Or they're only interested in fixed blades and that's it. But there's a lot of us who love them all. There's a lot of folks that would like a slip joint with modern aesthetics. And I think that's what this one gives you. So the pull on this is about a 4. We've got an outstanding half stop here. Good snap on this one. Fit and finish is outstanding. Everything's chamfered down nicely. There's no hot spots, no sharp edges, no pokey parts. It's about a 3.5 finger knife for me, but I have wide hands, right? Even with this 4-inch handle, that's not really enough for me. But like I said, this sharpening choil is big enough to choke up into and get a full 4-finger grip without getting up into that blade. Feels good in a hammer grip, saber grip feels good, reverse grip feels good, gas station stabby grip feels good. Although I wouldn't be giving somebody the business with a slip joint, but hey, if you had to, you could. Just an outstanding knife. Walk and talk is freaking excellent. Fit and finish is outstanding. I freaking love this knife. So, was this knife needed? Well, in my opinion, yes. We saw QSP have huge success with the Hedgehog slip joint. Then they released the Penguin slip joint. Didn't do as well. I don't have that one. I need to get the Penguin slip joint. But we saw QSP have success with it. They just released the Hedgehog with that spear point blade that I picked up. I'm going to be reviewing in a couple days. But guys, I freaking love this one. I think those resin scales are just phenomenal. I love everything about this knife. This is what I love about Civivi. So there you go, boys and girls. That is the Civivi Elementum slip joint. This dropped maybe a month ago, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, something like that. I've had this one for about a week. I absolutely love it. As always, guys, I appreciate you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know if you have any Elementum at all. Let me know if you have the Elementum slip joint or if you're going to pick it up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click my logo right over there. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish, boys and girls. Class dismissed.